If people comment negatively on your social media posts, that's good. That means it's engaging. When I make people mad and technicians are all over the post, I know I made a really engaging, controversial post. So don't be bothered by that.
Escape the One Man Show podcast.
Welcome to Escape the One Man Show, where we help contractors stop running a job and start building a company. Now, we've got some questions from Cory and Christine from Eco, and let's go ahead and listen in.
Hey, this is Cory with Eco.
And Christine with Eco Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
We're located out here in Seattle, Washington.
And a couple questions that we have to figure out for marketing is recruiting, how to get and attract technicians, and lowering our marketing ad spend overall.
Also, social media, working on that too.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, all areas that most contractors and business owners need help in, right? Recruiting, lowering marketing spend, and then being on social media so people know that we're relevant and they're constantly engaging with our content, hopefully. So I'm going to start with social media. And the reason why I want to start social media is because I think it's something that we've got down pretty pat. And in the beginning, I was absolutely horrible at social media. I don't even post a lot on my personal page. I didn't start until I watched Gary Vee speak at one of the super meetings for Nexstar. And he said, it's your responsibility as a business owner or a manager or a leader to lead the charge of being out there and promoting your company, promoting yourself. And that's the place where everyone's at nowadays. If you look around out in the world, no matter where you're at, even while people are driving, they're on their phones. And what are they typically scrolling? They're typically scrolling social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the different ones out there, Snapchat, and YouTube Shorts. So that's where people's eyes are. Again, like that's why I might invest in social media over a billboard, depending on your marketing budget, because even while people are driving, they might not look at that billboard in 2026 because they're stuck on their phone while they're driving. It's not safe, but they're doing it. So I need to be where everyone's eyes are. And then I need to produce engaging content. The old days where you could just post a stock photo of a happy family on a couch with a smiling technician that you stole from someone else's company stock photo and throw it on there and say, we do good service is over. It's gone. People don't have the attention span to care. People want things that they want to engage with. So you need to show them that you have valuable information that they can learn, or you've got something juicy, right? People like to see nasty things like unclogging plumbing pipes, dirty air conditioning systems, mold throughout the house. People like drama. That's why they go to movies to watch the drama. If you know everything that happened in the movie start to finish, you're probably not going to go see that movie. You want to be excited. So people are on social media typically to learn or for entertainment. So your content needs to be a healthy mix of the two, educating people and then entertaining them. And here's the thing, you don't have to be the best entertainer or the best educator. You probably have people at your business in your company that are probably pretty good at either of those things. And all you need to do is get a cell phone, an iPhone, Android, whatever you've got. It's probably got a decent camera on it. You don't even need all the fancy mics and the lights yet. Just start recording footage with your phone. And you might say, well, I don't have any ideas. Well, go to ChatGPT, go to Claude, go to Gemini. Look at all the channels on social media and type in hashtag trending, hashtag construction, HVAC, plumbing, electric. See what's already trending. People like to watch videos that are remakes of the things they already like. So that's an easy start. And it does not have to be really funny, silly things where you're dancing and you're being ridiculous. If that's you and you're willing to do that and you keep it professional, I think it will do well, because this goes right into recruiting. You want to hire better technicians. You want to hire people that have experience, that are great at sales, that are quality. Nowadays, Gen Z, sometimes millennials, instead of just going to your Google reviews and your Indeed reviews, they're going on your TikTok, your Facebook, your Instagram pages, and they're actually seeing what content you post. If they find nothing about your culture, they don't trust you. So if you've got a ton of content showing your culture, showcasing it, maybe making it seem like the managers are real people and they're not going to be the worst corporate environment like they just came from, there's a good chance they're probably going to want to apply to your company, because you think to yourself, these people are only looking for money, right? They want to be paid the highest amount. They want the best benefits, and that's important. But it's insane what I've realized, that people care about culture more. They don't want to be miserable while being rich, because then they can't enjoy their money. They're just miserable. So It's really, really important that you showcase your culture, and hopefully you have a good culture. If you don't, I'd say work on that. But social media should be to first attract employees. That's the easiest thing that social media does. You don't even have to pay for ads at first. You can just put organic posts on there, show your culture, show guys on the job, have some structured content that has a purpose, so some for entertainment, some for education. But you need to start doing this now. And the more you also promote this on your personal pages or the personal pages of leaders in your company, people are on Facebook and Instagram typically to engage with personal profiles. They don't want to be sold anything. So that is one good thing about social media, is if this is genuine, if this is who you are, if this is real, people want to engage with your personal profile, sometimes more than your company profile, because they don't want to be sold. They don't want to be sold something they don't need. So they're a little bit more willing to listen and watch these videos if it's from a personal perspective on your personal page. So I would highly recommend you start posting on your personal page, and it could be a bunch of business content. And if there's people on there that are mad at you or don't like you and they're like, stop posting all this stuff, let them go, right? Stop caring so much about what other people think. You're in it to help your business thrive and grow. You have many people at your business that are dependent on you, their incomes. This is to provide for their family. So maybe stop caring so much about what other people say. If people comment negatively on your social media posts, that's good. That means it's engaging. When I make people mad and technicians are all over the post, I know I made a really engaging, controversial post. So don't be bothered by that. And here's the thing, if you've got a bunch of technicians watching your videos and critiquing them, who cares? They're not your target audience. They mean nothing. This is for either people that you want to come work for you or people that you want as customers. We don't care if they think you're the most educated HVAC contractor or technician or journeyman. It doesn't matter. It means nothing. Let it go. Move on. Make another video. Outwork them in your content. Quick break. This episode is brought to you by Conduit Warranty Solutions. Yeah, I actually use them. I used to eat warranty work like an idiot. Now I own my own warranty and I actually make money on it. Conduit handles all the compliance, legal, all of it. If you own a shop and you're not doing this, you're just working for free. Conduit is the warranty that puts money back in the pockets of the guys doing the work. Call them today or go to their website to schedule a free consult at www.conduitwc.com, or keep losing money on warranties. I don't care. Back to the show. Eventually, I highly recommend you post at least once per day, every single day. A video, not just a static post. Static posts are great too if you want to post those as well. And timing is really important with social media. So you need to post at specific times. I recommend you post early in the morning, around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. It gives enough time to where people, when they start waking up and going to work, they typically are on social media scrolling right before work. So it usually does pretty well. And then if they go in at lunchtime, it's already gotten some engagement, so they do pretty well. If you post too late in the day, your content won't do as well. Weekends typically are weird too, and the content doesn't do as well. So post your really good content that you're really proud of on weekdays, and the things that you don't care so much on if you post on the weekends. Like I said, I recommend you post every single day at a consistent time on all of the platforms that you want to engage with. So social media is easy, it's free, and it just takes time. And I highly recommend you invest the time in it, because I get so many employees from social media that message me just because they watch our content. LinkedIn's a great one as well. If you're looking for high-level leaders, you better be on LinkedIn and you better post engaging content on LinkedIn. So to me, that's the easiest way to get employees, is just to post a lot of organic content. And eventually, if it's engaging, it will show up on their feeds and they'll learn about you and they'll follow you. And then when it's time for them to look for a different job, they go to you. Marketing. I 100% believe we typically go for prospects. These are new customers, and we spend way too much money trying to find the magical unicorn prospect. While you're doing that, you're not taking good care of your existing customers that already like you, that already buy from you. Just focus more on showing appreciation to your existing customers. They're probably gonna buy more from you. The close rate's gonna be way higher than a new customer. The average ticket's gonna be way higher than a new customer. And they already like you. So guess what they're gonna do? If you do a good job of getting referrals, they're gonna get you more customers. You need to start focusing on taking really good care of your customers. We actually send a thank you card and a little gift package to every single customer that does business with us, signed by the owner and Chili the Penguin, our mascot. And that's through automation that we get that done. That's one way to take care of your customer. We have a really cool referral program too that will pay customers for any referral they give us. And they can get that in a check, Visa gift card. There's a whole bunch of things they can choose from. And it's all automated. They can all do it themselves. So it's not a really heavy process. So we automated both of those processes because we want to differentiate ourselves from other companies. Most places don't send a thank you card, and they don't really give you anything for free. So I think it's really important to start differentiating yourselves and doing something extra for your customers, because then they're going to be loyal. And that's another thing. If you're sending all these direct mail pieces to all these brand new neighborhoods that have never done business with you, and you're not sending them to your existing customers, you are wasting a lot of money. Make sure you have a really strong direct mail strategy to your existing customer base to make sure you're reminding them that you're the company to call when the time comes. Because there's a lot of things happening with text messages, all these spam calls, all these filters. AI is eventually going to start filtering out all of your calls, all of your texts, all of your emails. Guess what? They're not filtering out mail yet. So it is a good strategy to use direct mail for your existing customers. Have a really strong referral program. And again, get some gifts for your customers that are inexpensive. Give them thank you cards. Take better care of them, and they're going to be more loyal. You're going to retain those customers much longer. The lifetime value of that customer to your company is going to go up, and it's just going to be a better customer experience. So that was something, as we talked before, Christine and Cory, that they started working on, and they started seeing their marketing budget go way down because they were spending a ton of money on Google PPC, like a lot of us have done in the past, where we just want to get more calls for our people. It's like going to the grocery store starving. You just end up buying things you don't really need, that you don't want to eat, that aren't good for you. And it's just not a good decision. So it's really important. First, you take really good care of your customers. You should be getting at least 60% of your revenue from existing customers. If you're lower than that, that's a minimum. If you're lower than that, you need to take better care of your customers. You're not marketing enough to your existing customers. It's way cheaper to market more to your existing customers. Do that first, then go into prospecting. So yeah, I mean, I can go into this way deeper, and I go into this way deeper in other episodes. And I know Christine and Cory wanted to talk a little bit about some of the conversations that we've had in the past that have helped their business. So hey, here they are again.
A couple of great lessons that we've learned from Derek is how to fully appreciate our clients by sending them gifts, as well as compounding on referrals to bring in leads, inexpensive leads for our company.
1,000%. The other thing I think that Derek was great with was helping us recognize that we could reduce our ad spend or reduce our marketing spend by refocusing our efforts on referrals, client appreciation. And I think that he had some phenomenal third-party vendors that he worked with that he recommended to us. And just his coaching and guidance over the last year or so has been absolutely instrumental into our growth. So super appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much for the kind words, Cory and Christine. And yeah, I mean, I'm in it for the industry. I want us all to succeed. It's hard enough to run a contracting business in 2026. And most of the time, we're against each other. We critique each other. We go after each other. And I just want to change that. I think we should just be helping each other more. Like I said, it's hard enough running a contracting business in 2026 with insurances against us. The vendors are a lot of times against us. So, and again, I'm not on the side of any vendor. She said I had some really great vendors. I hold them accountable every single day. And if they don't continue to do well, I'm done. I move on. I am loyal until you stop doing what you say you're going to do. So yeah, that's the end of the episode. Thanks for joining me on Escape the One Man Show. If you're a contractor or a business owner that has questions about their business, call the Escape the One Man Show line at 321-495-7788. Leave your name, company, location, and your question, and I may feature it and answer it on the next episode. Thanks.